This is the briefing from Transport Topics for June 30th. I'm Esmeralda Leon. Brian Work of CloneOps.ai discusses where artificial intelligence agents fit into today's supply chain workflows and what they might mean for the future of trucking operations. Catch the latest Road Signs podcast at ttn.ws/episode 167. Now let's dive into the day's top stories. The Texas Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Werner Enterprises, reversing a $100 million jury verdict against the motor carrier, upheld by an appellate court in a 2014 fatal crash, in which a pickup truck lost control on a slick interstate, traveled across the highway median, and collided with a Werner tractor traveling on the opposite stretch of road. The Texas High Court released its ruling Friday. Werner President and Chief Legal Officer Nathan Meisgeier said, quote, "This is a long-awaited win for Werner. After 7 years navigating the appellate process, we are thankful the Texas Supreme Court reached the same conclusion as law enforcement, that the Werner drivers and our company did nothing wrong." End quote. Meisgeier also said the ruling will not cause the company to lose sight of the tragic loss the Blake family suffered because of the accident. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy on Friday announced a $275 million grant program to expand truck parking and prune regulations, billing the moves as the first wave of President Donald Trump's trucking reform order. American Trucking Association's President Chris Spear released a statement endorsing the moves. Of the total funding, $180 million is earmarked for Florida to build 917 spaces along Interstate 4 in 3 counties. The remaining $95 million will be available nationwide through discretionary grant rounds opening later this year. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Friday that the U.S. and China signed a trade agreement that will make it easier for American firms to obtain magnets and rare earth minerals from China that are critical to manufacturing and microchip production. The agreement comes after China retaliated against steep import tariffs imposed by the Trump administration on Chinese goods and moved to slow export of rare earth materials and magnets, much needed by U.S. industrial interests. That part of the pact cleared the way for the trade talks to continue. Meanwhile, the EU and U.S. said they think they can agree to some form of a trade agreement by the July 9th deadline. But on Canada, President Donald Trump said he was ending all trade discussions. The USA's northern neighbor moved to implement a digital services tax, which prompted a threat from Trump that he would impose a fresh tariff rate within the next week. That's it for today. Remember, for all the latest trucking and transportation news, go to the experts at ttnews.com.